Hey everybody, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. We're going to give you some bad news about these KO2 tyres. We're going to have a look around on this vehicle. There's 4 tyres on it obviously, and 2 of them appear to be wearing out about twice as fast or even faster than the other 2. We're also going to include in this one, it's got some new Dobinson's suspension here. It's been upgraded from you've been on the twin tubes for about 5 years, was it? The other yellow ones?
Yeah, just on
about 5 years, yep. So we'll talk about that afterwards. Let's talk about these tyres. Now, my memory was, after a trip, you replaced two tyres were particularly bad, probably the rears at the time, and those new tyres went on the front, and the ones off the front went on the rear. Is that correct? Yeah. And is that the ones that are on the rear now?
That's correct, yeah.
Right, so how many Ks have these tyres done?
82,000.
82,000. And let's just have a look and see where they were made. Does it show? There it is, made in Thailand, because the other thing I note is people saying, oh, when they're made in Thailand, they started wearing out quicker. And I didn't notice that with mine. But on a set of mine now, I have noticed they seem to be wearing out a lot quicker. So when you wait till you hear the rest of this, people, when you see how many Ks the front ones haven't done and how they look virtually the same. And I'm with you on this. Now, let's also have a look at the manufactured date. That says 11/19. So we know these are manufactured in the 11th week of 2019. They're made in Thailand. How many Ks did you say they've done?
82,000.
82,000 Ks. We measured these the other day, rough measurement with a ruler, and I'm going to tell you that it's around about the 5 to 6 mil is what's left. Thereabouts, you know. I'd say 5 mil, 5.5, somewhere around there. Have a look for yourself. Now, let's go and have a look at these front ones. How many Ks are these done?
31,000.
31? I thought it was 28. Were you wrong when you said 28? That's all right. Something like that anyway. Let's say about 30,000 Ks. They were manufactured in the 15th week of 2021. They're also made in Thailand. So you think they're the same? They've got a little bit more rubber on them. There's not a lot. I'd say probably about 1 millimetre more. What do you reckon? We measured, was it about a mil?
Half to 1 mil.
Yeah, that's it. So kilometre difference, 2.5 times less kilometres, or the rears have done 2.5 times more kilometres. Let's go around to the ones at the other side. There's got to be something. There's something. Everyone thinks there's got to be something. There's something wrong here, isn't there? There's something wrong about this, but it's not. Let's just have a look and make sure. Check the dates. Bit of gutter, bit of parking against the gutters here. Watch out for that. Okay. Let's have a look at the dates, because you know this is toward 11/19. Yep. So there's no. There it is, made in Thailand. Have a look, you know, I'll stick the finger in there, have a bit of a feel, you know. There's the wear indicator, you know, about 5 mil, 5.5, something like that. Got the nice new Dobinson's monotubes there. Same springs, of course, because springs are for life if you're happy with. Now these ones, they've got a bit of it. Look, the twin tubes were in there for about 5 years. So they were probably a bit flogged. At this point, can I just ask, so what was the old suspension like? Was it still felt all right? Was it working all right? Was it bouncy?
It was working all right, yeah.
Yep, so you didn't notice any, over the 5 years and all those dirt roads, outback trips and all that stuff in the high country? And
the front was still very, very good.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so let's have a look at the rubber. Again, I'll put the finger in there. There's that wear indicator. It just doesn't look any different to the one I just went to, really. So let's have a look, make sure. Okay, something's going wrong here and tyres have been mixed up, because it could have happened, and we need to show you. Where's that date when you're looking for it? Anyway, there's made in Thailand, manufacture date. There it is, 15/21. Like the other front one, definitely 21. So kind of like we've got 2 tyres here that are 2 years old and 2 tyres that are 4 years old. Got the old springs. Springs are for life if you're happy with the height, with the nice new monotube shock absorbers. So as you can see for yourself, these tyres are wearing out. So if these are done 30,000 Ks and the others, what the others done? What was it, 80 something, was it?
82.
82, so 82, double 30, 60, 80. It's like these rear ones have lasted almost 3 times longer than the front ones. Now, it couldn't be that. So let's just, what's it called, being, you know, a bit, you know, modest about it. They're lasting, these ones lasted twice as long as the front ones. And some, but we'll say easy twice as long. So to me, this comparison right here on this vehicle, and the tyres get rotated front and rear every now and then, don't they? I mean, you know, you couldn't just blame tyre rotations, tyre pressures. What sort of pressures do we run these ones at?
36.
About 36, there you go. And you know, same front and rear, same all round.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's pretty light in the back, so pretty evenly balanced. That's fair enough.
No load.
So at the end of the day, I would have to say, by the looks of it, in Thailand, KO2, BFG, All-Terrain, Michelin, whoever they are, have changed the rubber compound, and they're lasting half as long or less. So based on that, the price needs to halve or nobody's going to buy them anymore. Anyway, now let's go a little bit more on the suspension. So suspension, the old yellow twin tube stuff, you're happy with that?
Yeah, that was all good, except I think the back is much better.
The back's better with these. So the monotubes, right? So the monotubes, everyone, what will happen is they're going to last longer, as in the life of them will last longer. When you're out on the tracks and the corrugations, because there's more fluid capacity, it's going to take a lot longer before they stop working. So what I mean is, if you've got a small fluid capacity from the corrugations and them constantly going up and down really fast, because that's what they are, the dampener, the fluid will boil, it'll have air in it kind of thing, and they just won't work until they cool down. That's why you're meant to stop, let things cool down. They get a bit cooked, right? It doesn't matter what brand of suspension. The monotubes, I've tested it myself. You can hammer it up and down dirt roads, and it just takes ages. It takes an absolute long time, if it happens at all, to get it to the point where you've lost your dampening. So the monotubes at the front are the current recommendation. The only downside to the monotubes at the rear, and it's not really a downside because nobody's had any issues on our 150. We ran them without the shock guards for a long time. Rocks obviously hit the boots. The bigger rocks, they break through the boots and put marks in the shaft, but we've never had a leak or a problem either. And of course, we've added on the Kaon shock guards, so that's what we recommend. If you look down there, you might see those kaon.com.au. Let's get under there and just show you quickly in this review for you video. Right, there they are. Okay. So then any rock spray hits those and not the boot. Whatever hits a bit further up, wouldn't worry about it too much at all, never had a problem. This is the current, have a look at the other side of it, doesn't that look beautiful? Right, so you got a lot of protection there. Anyway, right, you get the picture. Bit of rub and gutters and stuff. What's going on there? So look, it's kind of hard to believe, isn't it? 80 what? 82,000? Was it 82? 82, 4 years old, 82,000 Ks. Right, same thing, put the finger in there. I don't know what we're meant to do. I measured it the other day, like I said, 5 or 6 mil. The best one out of all of them is this one. So I reckon, of course there is a spare that gets a bit of, the reason this one might have a little bit more, maybe it was on the spare for a little while. No, okay, no. Both on the front forever, there you go, okay. This one does look a bit better. So there's one other thing that could have happened a little bit, and it's going to affect the front tyre wear, is the front lower control arms. Everybody knows about that by now as well. The front lower control arm bushes, they get cracks in them. And I'm not saying this is what's happened. I'm not making excuses for BFGs, but there's a possibility that those front lower arms, they are fairly cracked, and there's a bit of movement there. The rear bushes are about 60% cracked through. The front bushes are a bit roughed up as well. You know, sometime, you know, in the near future, they'll get replaced, but that allows the front lower arms to move back and forward a little bit, which is going to mess with the tyre wear a little bit, but it doesn't look too bad. And I wouldn't have said one side's worse than the other, looking at the suspension. And of course, with the old struts, the old coilovers, they might have felt all right in the vehicle, but they could have been bouncing around a little bit where you don't sort of notice. Anyway, I think the comfort on the monotubes is a lot better, and they last a lot better on the corrugations. They actually keep working, dampening, doing the job on the suspension. So this is what we currently recommend, the monotube setup. If you're going to travel in the outback, you're going to need those shock guards ideally to do a bit of, just to be safe. I mean, you don't have to have them. You probably get lucky anyway, but from what we've seen, if you have a look in our suspension playlist, you'll see the damage to out the bottom of our rear shockers in the 150 that have been in 2 vehicles now. We've racked up about 100,000 Ks on them, and we're happy with them. But anyway, let's wrap this one up. If you want, you can You know, subscribe and turn the bell on, hit the like button if you learnt something, but we'll tell you for real, BFG KO2s, I don't think, unless something changes, I don't think I'm ever going to buy a set again, because the things I've noticed, besides, it doesn't really bother me where they're made, but I've noticed they don't come out new with as much tread depth as what they used to. Number two, it looks like they've got a softer compound wearing out quicker. This vehicle is just one example. And you know what? They're just too expensive. You know, people are paying over $400 each for them. It's ridiculous. Currently, before they were worth about $300 each, and now they're gone soft. They're worth about $150 each. So if you can get a set for $150, go and buy them. But unless they adjust the price or put the rubber depth and quality back there, they've lost me. So there you go. See ya.